Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video showing you guys all of my top favourite makeup products. So Jaclyn Hill actually done a video a couple of weeks on her channel. I think it was called like the Ride or Die makeup tag, and she showed you guys all of the products that she loves and that she cannot live without, and it kind of inspired me to do exactly the same video. So these are the products that I gravitate to the most. They're the ones that I use on an average day-to-day basis, and they're just products that I cannot live without. They're like my holy grail staple products. So it was actually easy for me to grab all the products today because I have got all of these products on my desk already, because again they're the ones that I use on an average day-to-day basis, and then I have got my makeup collection storage in another part of the room, so it kind of brings me on to another topic. So if you guys want to see a makeup collection video, just let me know and I can always do that for you, because I have reorganised and sort of redecorated this room a little bit, so make it a little bit easier for me to film and also like get all my makeup and stuff like that. So if you guys want to see that again, then just leave a comment down below or just give this video a like and I can always do that for you. So guys, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you here. So don't forget to click this red button right here and it will notify you of all of my upcoming videos. I post every Thursdays and Sundays. So if you guys want to see my ultimate holy grail makeup products, then just keep watching. But first, Diet Coke break. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to do it in order of how I would apply my makeup. So I'm going to start off with primers and then sort of work my way along. So for a primer, this was really hard for me to pick because I did have two favourite primers, but it was kind of like I needed to pick one that was one that I just couldn't live without, and it's one that I've repurchased over and over again. So the primer that I'm going to show you is this one by Too Faced. This is the Hangover X primer. I think it's the Hangover X or just the Hangover primer. I never know actually what it's actually called, because some people call it Hangover X, some people just call it Hangover. I think I'm going way off track now, Laura. It's just really nice and hydrating on the skin. If you guys have dry skin, you will love this primer because it doesn't cling to any dry patches, and especially if I have like breakouts and stuff, and you know, like when you get like an old crusty spot and when you put your makeup on, it always clings to the dryness of that spot and it just looks horrible. But I always find like with this primer, it just like really glides on nicely and it just makes your makeup stay put all day long and it just doesn't cling to any dry patches. It's just really nice. So I just find this really nice and refreshing to use, especially like on a hot day, and the smell is just, I think all of Too Faced products just smell amazing, but this one smells of coconut. It just smells like pina colada. It just reminds me of holiday, and yeah, it's just my holy grail primer. So now moving on to foundation. Now I think you guys know what foundation I'm going to say, and that is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. I use this in the shade number 4. I absolutely love this foundation. Like, I've been using this non-stop. The only thing that I absolutely hate and drives me crazy is so expensive. I think it's about £38, but again, you pay for what you get with this product. It is absolutely amazing. I've repurchased this over and over again. So it is like a medium coverage, but it is buildable. So what I like to do is apply a thin layer all over the skin, and then on the areas where I feel like I need extra coverage, like especially if I'm breaking out or I have a little bit of acne scarring here that I just like to add a little bit more coverage to, I can always go in and build it up, and it doesn't look cakey at all. It just gives a really sort of nice luminous radiant look to the skin, and it just looks like your skin but better. So it completely evens out your skin tone, but you can still see your skin texture through the foundation, which I really like, so it doesn't look too cakey and too full-faced, if that makes sense. I do find like the longevity of it really good as well, but I can wear this foundation from morning through to night and it doesn't budge, it doesn't go patchy. So yeah, I really love this foundation, and I think it will be my #1 foundation for years to come. So now moving on to concealers. This was really challenging for me just to pick one that I absolutely love, but when I was looking at all these concealers, I was like, what ones do I actually use the most and what one have I used for the longest? And it has to be like the MAC Pro Longwear. Now I purchased this years ago, like when I first started getting into makeup, I always use this concealer, and I've just repurchased it, and it's just one of those good staple products that I use, and also use on a lot of clients as well. So I think it works for a variety of different skin tones and also skin textures as well. It's maximum full coverage, so if you guys have a lot of dark circles, then I think this concealer is for you. It's going to cover up absolutely everything. I have this in the shade NC15, which is a little bit too light for me, but the reason why I bought this in this shade is because I wanted it to be a lot more brightening, because I feel like with yellow toned paler concealers, they just look a lot more flattering on the skin, and yeah, just my holy grail. So now moving on to face powder. Now I do have two. I'm going to show you one compact pressed powder and also a translucent powder. So the one that I'm going to show you that's pressed is the MAC Studio Fix powder. I have this in the shade NC20, which again is more like my skin tone. I think NC15 is too light for me, but I absolutely love this powder. Again, I've repurchased it and repurchased it. It's very, very full coverage. It's a really sort of nice velvety finish on the skin, and it completely mattifies the skin. So if I have like oiliness that comes through on my T-zone throughout the day, I can just use this and it will just completely get rid of that oil. It also makes your skin look absolutely airbrushed and flawless. So what I like to do is use that Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, and then again on the areas where I feel like I need a little bit extra coverage, I will just use this powder on top, and it just gives the most beautiful flawless finish. And again, it stays in place all day long, and it's one of those things that I just can't live without. So now moving on to translucent powder. I think you guys know which one I'm going to show you, and that is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I love this one. Again, one of my favourite products ever. Now, I only started using this, I would say, about a year ago now, but this powder is just amazing. So if you guys are into the whole baking your concealer technique, you will love, love, love this translucent powder. So this product is like really brightening for underneath the eyes, so if you guys like that look, then you will love this as well. I don't know what I would do without this one. Again, this is like my holy grail staple product, and I just can't see myself using anything else. This just does it for me. Can you guys see these lights? They're coming from the window. It's quite pretty. So now moving on to blush. My favourite blush is the L'Oreal Blush Sculpting Trio. I bought this only a few months ago now, but I have used this every day since. I cannot stop using it, but it's the most flattering blush colour I have ever bought, and this is in the colour Soft Rosy. And it does have like 3 different blushes, so you can use them individually. Again, I don't know how you're going to use them individually because they are so compact, but I like to just swirl my brush in all 3 of them and then apply it to the cheeks. It just gives the most beautiful sheen to your cheeks, and it just looks really, really lovely and flattering. I find like with any makeup look that I wear, like regardless of where I'm wearing crazy colourful eyes like I am today, or just like a nude lip or a dark lip, this blusher just tends to go with everything. If you have like similar skin tone to me, so if you are on the paler side, I think that you would absolutely love this. Again, it's really, really inexpensive. I believe this was only about £8. And I just think for the quality of the products, it's amazing. It's very, very pigmented and really nice to blend out as well. It doesn't go patchy on me, and yeah, it's just really one of my favourite blushes. So now moving on to bronzers, and my ultimate bronzer is the one by Too Faced. This one is the Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer. Again, if you are more on the fairer skin tone, you will love this. If you're more darker, they do have a variety of different shades that you can use, but this one just works perfectly. But I've hit pan on this so hard, I've literally got that much left. I'm actually waiting for one to come in, but it is amazing. It's just really, really nice and blendable. It's just a perfect warm toned bronzer for me. So if you guys are looking for more of a subtle contour, I would definitely recommend bronzers over contour powders, and especially finding one that suits your skin tone the most, because I don't think there's anything worse than getting a bronzer or a contour powder that's too dark and you kind of have lines on your face, or it's just too harsh for your skin tone. But I feel like with this, it's just perfect. It matches me really well. It's nice and pigmented, it blends out beautifully, and yeah, it's just like the perfect colour for me, and it smells of chocolate. So now moving on to highlighters. So this was the most hardest decision to make when it comes to doing this video, because I use so many different highlighters. I love highlighters. I think everyone's on this highlighter train at the moment where it's so popular. So I've got all my highlighters out and I kind of like played around with all of them. But what done it for me is the one that I've used the most of and the one that I keep on reusing. And that is the MERCIER by the Balm. I absolutely am obsessed with this highlighter. It's just such a beautiful colour. Again, if you're more on the fairer skin tone like me, you will love this. But you can see that I've already hit pan on this. I love it that much, and I need to go and repurchase another one. But it's just really, really finely milled, so it doesn't look chalky or cakey on the skin, and it doesn't look chunky as well. Like some highlighters you can get actually look like glitter or like chunks of highlights on the face, and it's just not flattering at all. Whereas this is like so finely milled that when you apply it, it just gives a really beautiful glow. So I'm actually going to put some more on today because I can't have enough. But you can see just how much glow that gives, but it doesn't look too chalky or too chunky. It just looks beautiful. So yeah, I could literally bathe myself in this. Okay, so now moving on to eyebrows. Now, I don't tend to use eyebrow products in my makeup videos purely because eyebrows are a chore, they take ages to do, and I just think that I would be editing for ages. You guys would be watching me do the same thing over and over again because my routine never ever changes. But I did do an eyebrow routine. Makes me cringe every time I think about it, but I've done it probably over a year ago now on my channel, so again I'll leave it linked here if you want to go and check it out. But I do need to do an updated one because I do use some different products now. But anyway, moving on, I just want to show you a brow pencil that I use, a brow powder, and also a brow gel. So I'm going to start off with the brow gel. This one is the L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper. I love this product because it does have like little fibres on the wand, so every time you brush it through the brows it makes them a little bit thicker, and also it just really makes sure those eyebrow hairs stay in place. And then moving on to a pencil, I always use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. So I have got the brow definer, which is what I'm currently using at the moment, and I do switch up between this and obviously the Brow Wiz. I've run out of the Brow Wiz and I'm waiting for one to come in, being delivered. They're just really nice and pigmented brow pencils. You can really get nice defined brows with it. You can like draw on the individual hairs and you can really shape and define them, and that is what I love. So I always use the shade Dark Brown, which again I think is like the perfect shade for me. It's more sort of like, oh, got a little bug. It's more sort of like on the ashy sort of dark brown shade. So again, it's going to take a lot of warmth out of the eyebrows because I had my eyebrows tattooed probably about 2.5 years ago now, and when the pigment starts wearing off it does go like kind of like a reddy colour, which is really horrible. I need to go and get them redone. So I always try and cover up that warmth using more of an ashy shade of brown. So this one I absolutely love for it. And for brow powder, I use this one by Barry M. This is their Brow Kit Shape and Define palette, and you can see how well loved this is. But I only ever use the middle shade, which is like the brow powder. I believe this is a wax that I never ever use, and that is just a kind of like a highlighting shade. Again, I never use that. I always use the brow powder, and these are really pigmented and they're quite dark. I think I don't actually know what colour this is or whether they just come in like one universal shade, but it's just a really nice powder to use. I don't feel like it transfers, and it just really sort of like defines my brow a lot better. So what I tend to do normally is use a Brow Artist Plumper first just to get them in a nice shape, and then go in with the brow pencil by Anastasia Beverly Hills just to define them and get the shape that I like. And then just on the outer edges where I like them to be a little bit darker, I just run through a little bit of brow powder on that, and I absolutely love the way it looks. I am sort of like really happy with my brows at the moment, and yeah, it's kind of like been a long process to try and find out different products that I really enjoy. So those three are like my staple holy grail eyebrow products to use. So now moving on to mascaras. This for me wasn't that difficult to choose just because I'm not really a mascara person. I always wear false eyelashes. I don't tend to wear them every day, but I mean, I'd say 5 days out of 7 I'll probably put false eyelashes on. But the mascara that I love to use is the Too Faced Best in Sex. Again, I've repurchased this over and over again, and I think you can see like a trend of like Too Faced products. I absolutely love that brand. This mascara is amazing. It's just got a really nice wand. It's just really nice and fluffy. You're going to get the most volume and lengthening with this mascara. The only downside that I found with it is that it transfers really badly. So if I put it on my bottom lashes, during the day I'll notice that it starts to transfer onto my cheeks and it drives me mad. So I do know they've come out with a waterproof one, which I think is going to be better with the transferring situation, but I haven't tried that yet. But I do really genuinely love this mascara, and I do think it gives a really nice sort of volume and lengthening effect to your lashes. So now for a bottom lash mascara, I like the MAC Extended Play. This you can really get into the tiny little hairs on your lower lash line, and it's just got a really thin but sort of long wand to it, and it's just going to grab all of the hairs and really lengthen them. And this again does not transfer at all. Like, I've worn this so many times. It's just my favourite bottom lash mascara. It's really lengthening and separating, and yeah, it just does not transfer on me. I think it's amazing. So now moving on to eyeshadows. Now this was the most hardest decision I had to make. I think eyeshadow for me is like the best thing to put on my face. I just think that you can be so creative with it, and I really enjoy blending. I know that sounds really weird, but I do. Like, I get a lot of satisfaction. I find it really like therapeutic, like when I I do my makeup, and when it comes to my eyes, I always get really excited about what eyeshadows I can wear, like what colours and what colours I can like put together to make it work. But I tried so hard to whittle it down and sort of like to get different brands out and to like see which one I was using the most. And again, I think it's just Makeup Geek. Like for me, Makeup Geek is like the ultimate creme de la creme eyeshadow brand, and they are really affordable. They're really nice and pigmented, they're really creamy, they're blendable, they're not chalky, you don't get a lot of fallout with them. They're just an amazing brand of eyeshadows, and I love all of them. I love their foiled eyeshadows, and the ones that I tend to gravitate to the most are in this palette. Now this palette is just a regular large Z palette. These are the eyeshadows that I use the most. So as you can see, like I've hit pan on a few of them, and they're probably the ones that I use a lot. So Peach Smooth again is like my ultimate favourite transitional shade. I love Cocoa Bear, it's just a really beautiful warm brown. I believe this one is Creme Brulee, again a lovely transitional shade, and yeah, I just love all of them. So I can create so many different looks with this palette. If I was travelling anywhere, I would always take this, and yeah, I just can create so many different looks with it. But I just love the versatility of Makeup Geek, and that you can customise your own palettes to like your exact specification. So I do have like quite a few of these palettes floating about, but these eyeshadows are just like my main go-to eyeshadows. So I did do like quite an in-depth video on Makeup Geek eyeshadows and like my Makeup Geek eyeshadow collection. So if you guys haven't seen that, I'll leave it linked right here if you want to go and check it out. So now moving on to eyeliners. I'm not a huge lover of gel eyeliners. I mean, I use them if I was doing more of a dramatic look and I really wanted a nice defined and sharp wing, just because I find them the most tricky to use and also the most time consuming. And sometimes like when you're in a rush, you just want one thing that's just going to get the job done nice and quick. So for that, for me, I would have to say the main one that I use the most and the main one that I love is this one by L'Oreal. This is the Superliner Superstar one, and it's just a really nice pigmented pen. You've got a nice thin tip, so you're going to get a nice precise line, and yeah, I just absolutely love this. It doesn't come off, it really does stay put all day long, and yeah, I just absolutely love it. If you guys are starting off with winged eyeliner and you just want to experiment a little bit, I was always going to pick this one up out of the drugstore. I believe it was about £8.99, again very inexpensive, and yeah, it just gets the job done. So now moving on to a pencil eyeliner. The one that I absolutely gravitate to the most, the one that I use all the time, is this one by Makeup Geek. This is their full spectrum eyeliner in the colour Obsidian. So it's just a matte jet black, and it is amazing. Like, it's the most creamiest formula pencil I've ever used. It does not drag on the eyelids, it's really nice and easy to blend out. So if I wanted more of a blended eyeliner, I would just go and apply this and then just use like a flat definer brush just to blend out the edges, and it just gives the most beautiful sort of smudged eyeliner smoky look. It's amazing. But for this, I use the most on my waterline, and it just is really pigmented. It does not budge as well. Like, I could wear this all day long and it doesn't come off. Even if my eyes water, it just always stays in. So I absolutely love this pencil, and I do definitely want to try their whole range, because I know Makeup Geek have loads and loads of colours like in the same formulation of this pencil. So I definitely want to pick up some more, like brighter, bolder colours. But yeah, absolutely love this one, and I cannot live without it. So now moving on to lip products. I'm going to show you a liner, a gloss and a lipstick. Now, I'm not really a huge fan of liquid lipsticks, although I really do like the Kat Von D ones and also the Stila All Day liquid lipstick. I think they're really nice. Like, don't really like that matte feel on the lips, so I think they're really good for like longevity. Much rather like a nice lipstick or a little bit of a gloss, because I just hate that sort of dried bumhole lip thing going on. So my ultimate favourite lip liner, and the one that I use the most, regardless of what colour that I'm wearing, whether it's a pink or a brown or a nude, like whatever colour that I'm wearing, I just feel like this is such a versatile colour. It is more on the pinky rosy side, but on my skin tone it just looks really sort of nice and neutral, and I can get away with wearing it with lots of different colours. So this one is a MAC Pro Longwear pencil in the colour In Anticipation, and it's just a really beautiful sort of pinky rose colour. But as you can see, I've like worn this one down quite a bit, and I've also got a backup. That's how much I love it. So now moving on to gloss. Now this was quite hard for me because I do like quite a few glosses, but I had to pick the one that I like the formula of the most, and also I like the colour of the most as well. This one is by Urban Decay. This is their Naked Lip Gloss, and this is in the colour Nuna. Now I know that Nuna is kind of like a bit of a theme throughout Urban Decay because they do have one of their eyeshadows which is called Nuna, which again is very, very similar to this colour, and I believe that is in the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, but a beautiful, beautiful shade. And this is more on sort of like pinky brown. It's really, really sort of like hard colour to explain. Like sometimes it looks a bit peach and a bit orange, but it's just so beautiful, really long wearing and really comfortable to wear as well. You don't get that kind of like sticky feel with it, and yeah, it's just a really sort of nice lip gloss to wear. Okay, so now moving on to lipsticks. Now this again was really, really hard because I couldn't just pick one, because there's always two that I put in my bag wherever I go, and that is the MAC matte lipstick in the colour Honey Love, and also the Gerard Cosmetics lipstick in the colour Buttercup. Now these come with me everywhere, and Honey Love I've repurchased over and over again. Gerard Cosmetics one I've nearly run out, and I just think they're very, very similar shades but both do different things. So this is more of a matte lipstick. It is the most perfect nude on me. It looks so nice and flattering. I love it. It's kind of like sort of like a peachy pink nude with a little bit of brown in it. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful colour. I think it works well on most skin tones, but for me it's like the perfect nude. So yeah, Honey Love is just amazing. It's a really, really nice formula. It stays in place all day long. It's nice and matte, but again, if you don't like that texture of the matte lipstick, I always go over with this one by Gerard Cosmetics. So these two together, like combined, it's just like the perfect nude. Now this is more on the sort of pinky side, but together they just look beautiful. I always put Honey Love on first and then top it off with the one from Gerard Cosmetics. So yeah, I would absolutely love, love, love these two together. They're the ones that I use the most, and I will always, always, without a question of a doubt, have these in my makeup bag. So guys, I really, really hope that you enjoyed watching this. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you here. So don't forget to click this little red subscribe button, which will notify you of 2 videos per week. I post every Thursdays and Sundays. So again guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all again soon. Bye! Guys, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to be doing this really dramatic emerald green smoky eye. I did actually use a gel eyeliner for the lid colour today, and I topped it off with another eyeshadow.